Right, photosynthesis. So that's a process that happens in plants. And if you're sitting there thinking, oh, plants are really boring, I hate plants, that's, yeah, fair enough, you got a point. But you need to know it. So this is a plant cell, hopefully you recognize this. And labeled on it are three parts of that plant cell that you wouldn't find in animal cells, like in yours or mine. And in one of these three, photosynthesis happens. It's the chloroplast, right? So photosynthesis, well, what is it? It's a chemical reaction. And why is it important? Well, plants can't, you don't see them strolling down the street, popping into the shop, buying a pack of beer, a pepperoni pizza, some fruit, and, a few vegetables. They can't get their energy like that because that's just not how they work. So instead, they have to make their own energy, and that is through the process of photosynthesis. And in it, they take water, carbon dioxide, and they convert it using energy from the sun, from light, into oxygen and glucose. So what I've got there on the screen in front of you is a word equation because it uses the words to tell you what happens. And just a couple of things to notice is that one, it uses a plus sign. Some people will say and, so they might say water and carbon dioxide. And then they'll say it equals oxygen and glucose. But we draw an arrow there to show there's been a change. You also need to know in an exam, it's a really common question that looks scary, but it's actually not, how to do a balanced symbol equation. So at the bottom, there's four chemical formulas. You probably will know that H2O is water, CO2 is carbon dioxide, O2 there is oxygen, and a bit trickier, C6H12O6. You're just going to have to commit that to memory. C6H12O6, that is glucose. Now, this is a symbol equation because it's using the symbols like H2O rather than the word, but it isn't balanced, and that's something you'll learn how to do in chemistry. But we're not worried about how you do it for now, but all you need to know is this. To balance it, you just put a 6 in front of each of the first three. So the balanced equation will look like that on your screen. Now, if you're a plant, you need water, which you can get from the soil, carbon dioxide, which you get from the air, and then the light energy that's needed to convert it, you'll get ordinarily from the sun, although you could get it from special bulbs. And then the oxygen you'll make more than you actually need. So some of it is waste, and you have to understand how the plants get rid of it. Obviously, they can't go to the toilet like a human being, but what they have on the on the bottom of their leaves are these things called stomata. And on our picture there, that's shown by that black bit in the middle. And either side of the stomata is something called guard cells. And those cells can increase in size, get bigger or get smaller to open up the stomata, that gap that you see. And then carbon dioxide, for example, could come in, or the oxygen could diffuse out. And then finally, you have glucose. We'll do a whole video on glucose, but largely the plant uses it to get energy, but there's loads of other things. So just to summarize everything, the photosynthesis, the process, it will happen in chloroplast. It will take 6 H2O and 6 CO2, so water and carbon dioxide. It uses the energy in light, and it would convert it into 6 O2, which is oxygen, and glucose, which is C6H12O6. The things in blue, they're called reactants because they react together, and the things in yellow are the products because they are produced. So that's photosynthesis speedily done.